This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
So there must not have been much to it. So I was wrong. I was wrong about this, Jamie. Tarleton State last night reinstated their head men's basketball coach, Billy Gillispie.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he had been placed on temporary administrative leave Friday. This was following a tip, I guess, about an anonymous complaint. Tarleton State Athletics Director Steve Urias said, "We're thankful to the Texas A&M system for working expeditiously in addressing this anonymous complaint. The welfare of our student athletes is of the utmost importance to Tarleton State and the Texas A&M system." I didn't realize they were part of the Aggie system. "We look forward to the start of the Texan men's basketball season." No details were made available. Glenn Cyprian, who was here, he had acted as the head coach amid the investigation, which was only a couple of days. So he supervised, I guess, the weekend activities for his basketball team.
I mean, when I read the story, I was happy to hear it. Coach Gillispie was a little bit, he was different. We've all got our Billy Gillispie stories from him being here, but I tend to root for him, his well-being, and that everything goes well for the guy. And so it's good to hear that things aren't going completely crazy for him.
Right.
Which we all would believe to happen.
Well,
right? So
he's had moments of that where you...
That's why your assumption yesterday of it being the end was probably a fair assumption. And it was a little bit surprising when I saw the story.
I mean, when you kind of look at previous stops, it just seemed kind of like that was...
There's no this like sliding out the door. There's usually an explosion of some sort,
No sliding out the... I'm going to give my 2 weeks and we're going to have a cake and a reception. Usually,
there's no secret trip to Amarillo when he leaves. No.
There's a cannonball shooting Billy Clyde out of it.
Out of
town,
we're not leaving a rental car at an airport. No.
Yeah, he's 78 and 74 at Tarleton State, 25 and 10 in 23-24. So, nobody questions his ability to coach.
Yeah. I'm surprised that he hasn't done better, honestly, because of that. I don't know if you've been to Tarleton, but they have nice facilities. They have very nice athletic facilities there. It's a nice campus,
and I think he's helped improve some of the basketball facilities just with his own personal contributions.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, he did that at the JUCO stop that he was at, and
good for him.
So he's not been afraid to. I mean, I
guess I'm a little surprised he hasn't been able to recruit a little bit better and get them going.
Yeah, boy. Don't you know he'd love this NIL stuff, man? And of course, what college basketball coach wouldn't be just like business as usual, right?
Right.
Bob Knight.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah,
you asked the question.
Yeah.
Bob Knight.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
He would be railing against it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You think some of the coaches are bad now that are talking about NIL? No. Bob Knight would absolutely be destroying all of it.
Yeah.
I think Coach Knight would have a hard time winning in today's era because he would be adamantly against it.
Yeah, he was kind of struggling at the end just in terms of that. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I don't think the voters knew that he didn't kick all the field goals. They just saw 5 field goals made by Texas Tech. Maybe so. That's fair. I mean,
completely possible.
Yeah. So just to be clear, it was Tubby Smith that left the rental car at the airport. Just to be crystal.
In Amarillo. Not Lubbock.
Right.
Drove to Amarillo.
I think it was his coach's car. I don't think it was his rental car. So anyway.
What? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know there was significance to that. So So somebody had to go up there and get his car and bring it back.
I think so.
That's fun.
I think so.
Road trip.
Well, I mean,
You get a steak while you're there.
look, if we're gonna tell that story about Tubby, then here's the story about Mark Adams, because he told me this himself when Chris Beard was named the head coach here. I saw Mark Adams at the press conference, and I was talking to him, and I said a couple of things. I said, one, I said, I bet you're glad to be back. He goes, well, technically I never left. My wife, first wife, they still had their home here, and she was still teaching here. And they'd taken the job at UNLV. He said, well, he goes, my car is still at the Little Rock Airport from his job with Little Rock. So anyway, I think that's common.
I guess so.
I think that's common. So, at any rate,
When you're in that situation, do you leave the keys in there for them? Do you take them with you?
I don't know. I don't.
What do you do?
Hopefully, you put them underneath the floor mat or something. Maybe give them to the person at the front desk. Going, hey, there'll be somebody here in a sweatsuit with fill in the logo to pick this thing up here in a couple of days. I guess I don't know. I don't know how that works, Jamie.
I don't either, Chuck.
It just seems that's above my pay grade and probably above my how I would. It's not how I would do it. How about that? I think that's how most people would not do that. So there you go. 6:38 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We're going to get some comments from Joey McGuire on the pre-snap penalties.
Here's what I know about that now. I don't think we have to worry about much about that right now because we're our coaches don't want to leave. I mean, we got to we're well funded and all that good stuff. So I don't think our coaches are going to have much desire to bail out of here.
I hope not. Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah.
You just never know. So we'll see.
Yeah, doesn't it give you confidence though? I mean,
absolutely. With the head coaches,
why would Joey McGuire
He's not going anywhere.
Castlin, why would they want to go anywhere else when they're getting supported like they're getting supported here, and plus they already have in place the structure of the facilities that are so incredibly nice and all that good stuff. It has to, if these guys want to win, they have to believe, hey, it's not going to get easier somewhere else.
No.
I got a great chance right here.
Yeah, I think that
unless you wanted to leave for history or tradition and all that kind of stuff, that's understandable too. But you would think, if I want to win, I'm going to have a great chance here.
Absolutely.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Today is Tuesday, October the 7th, 2025. Time for This Day in Sports History. Here's Jeff McGuire.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a good day in this day in sports history.
You going to make Jamie happy? Make me happy? Make all of us happy?
1928.
Pavo Nurmi
runs a world record 10 miles. 50 minutes, 15 seconds flat. 1953. Bill Veeck tells the St. Louis Browns stockholders that he faces bankruptcy unless they drop their suit to block his move to Baltimore. They would comply.
And did they then become the Orioles?
I believe that is where this team is heading, yes.
Okay.
He had ownership in I feel 7 franchises. So it doesn't.
Yeah, it was crazy, right?
Major League owners just liked him, I guess. 1984. Sweetness has to move Mr. Brown over on the all-time rushing list in the NFL.
Wow. 84 is when he broke that record.
1995.
Bullied. Intercepted. Zach Thomas. Touchdown.
Told you you're flirting with danger.
Zach Thomas with 12 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception for a touchdown. The Aggies fans stunned as their 29-game unbeaten streak in the Southwest Conference is 30 seconds from being ended.
The unranked Red Raiders upset number 8 Texas A&M 14-7.
Notice he said Aggie fans stunned when the game was here in Lubbock, and there were 50 some odd thousand in those days there at Jones Stadium. I don't recall an overabundance of Aggie fans. That truly is my first big witness Texas Tech big moment where I kind of felt like, okay, now I got a moment, because when I came to town, I didn't have the history of going to school here and growing up here and selling Cokes in the stands like a lot of guys are sitting in the north end zone, and so that was the first time I thought, okay, now I have a moment. And so it made me feel good to have a moment, and then they won. That made me even feel better.
Cool. Very cool.
But I want to know who. I can't remember who the color guy was that day.
I don't know. But he told you he was flirting with danger, so that's what's important.
Flirting with danger, right?
Don't ever flirt with danger.
Especially not with Zach Thomas on the other side.
AKA don't ride with Chuck.
Wow.
2012. New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees breaks Johnny Unitas' NFL record for consecutive games with a touchdown pass at 48 when he connects with Devery Henderson? D-E-V-E-R-Y?
How do you spell it?
D-E-V-E-R-Y? Of the Saints in a 31-24 win over San Diego at the Superdome. So there's that.
That's crazy that it was Johnny Unitas' record that he broke. I mean, do you think about, the guys that were before him, because there were a lot of quarterbacks before him.
Joe Montana.
Yeah,
Peyton Manning.
Sure.
Yeah. It is National Frappe Day. This is the combination between like a frappuccino and like a milkshake. Is what this is.
I think I'd just rather have the milkshake, Jamie.
Okay.
Jamie will pass on all of it.
I like milkshakes.
Well, anything that has frap involved, you would probably pass on.
Okay.
Happy birthday to Simon Cowell, 66. Vladimir Putin is 73. Mookie Betts, 33. Yo-Yo Ma, who still rules, is 70. Charles Woodson, 49. John Mellencamp, 74. Evan Longoria, 40. Bill Snyder, the maker of all of my nightmares, 86. Priest Holmes, 52. And Chase Daniels, 39.
Wow, Putin's only 73. He looks... kind of feel like he's been around a long time. So.
Oh, he has. Let's make this very clear. Yes. And on this day, 1949, less than 5 months after Great Britain, the United States, and France established the Federal Republic of Germany in West Germany, the Democratic Republic of Germany is proclaimed within the Soviet occupation zone. Criticized by the West as an unautonomous Soviet creation, Wilhelm Pieck was named East Germany's first president, with Otto Grothich. No way I got that right, but it's okay because he was the prime minister.
That sounded cool, though.
Yeah. And that is this day's sports history.
Either that or that you have a cold or something.
That too. But yes, Vladimir Putin has been around for quite a while. He goes back to the Cold War.
Yeah. Let's see here. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Let's see. Somebody wants to know if I plan to attend any of the homecoming festivities this weekend. Yes, I'll go to the game on Saturday.
You're not going to the parade? But you love a parade.
The parade's Friday night. I do love a parade.
And the homecoming parade, like, you might love the most because it's homecoming parade.
I like the homecoming parade, yeah, but not generally. I don't think we're going. Let's see. One good thing about Coach Joey McGuire, he'll never leave to coach his alma mater. UTA doesn't have a football team. That's good news.
I don't think I knew that he went to UTA. Yeah, I don't. I feel like, truly, I feel like his personality is a terrific fit.
Yeah.
He's just got, the energy and all of that, and like the us against the world mentality that Texas Tech fans have always had, the little chip on the shoulder, what, they doubt us, we'll show them. I just feel, and it feels like when you hear him talk, and I don't think this is Coach speak some of it is, but because he has to say the right things, but it feels like he and his wife know that he's the right fit here.
Yeah.
That he fits here, and that they have no desire to be going anywhere else. So I mean, that's obviously great news. I think you're going to live and grow old with Joey McGuire
Yes, I think
here
you're
at
right.
Texas Tech,
Yeah.
which I think is terrific. Because,
Yeah.
And again, there should be no reason for him to want to leave, but it feels like he's a great fit.
Yeah, I think you're spot on
The
with all.
personality is just
Spot on with all
Yeah.
that.
And I think some of that comes from when his daughter went here.
Yeah, maybe
like,
so.
saw what was going on here, saw her reaction to the life in Lubbock, that's a place that I want to be.
Yeah.
And, as strange as this may seem, you're allowed to learn from your kids too.
Yeah, and maybe a fan base that's passionate, but that's also supportive for the most part. I mean, some fan bases are so entitled that, for example, if you're at Alabama, you win 10 games, and you're like, why are we losing 2 games? And just that's not necessarily who we are. So, I mean, people accuse us too much of accepting mediocrity here.
Yeah, I mean, we're not entitled yet. We're not entitled yet. We may
Hope so.
we may become.
We expect to get to the college football playoff every year.
we may.
All of a sudden, we think we should win the national championship every year.
Let's start with one.
Yeah, that's the point, Jeff. That's the point.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. We have nothing to be entitled about.
Yeah, we're just trying to see if we can get to the Big 12 championship game, right? More than anything else.
I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to beat Kansas on Saturday. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I think it starts with pre-snap penalties, containing their quarterback, self-inflicted wounds, all those kinds of things.
Don't beat yourself.
Don't beat yourself. Yeah.
You're way more talented than they are.
Yeah.
Just don't beat yourself.
All right, we'll get some comments from Coach McGuire next year this morning on the morning drive. Also, at some point in time, it's not like brand spanking news. So some of you that follow this all the time, I just stumbled across it this morning, but a brand new bracketology. At least it's brand new to me. I'll tell you where Joe Lenardi has the Red Raiders in terms of hoops, and that'll get underway. And
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
this question was asked on the Yates Flooring Center chat line off the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by Happy State Bank. What are our chances to win our homecoming game? We never play well in homecoming. Well, you're 57, 35, and 3 all time, 20 and 9 in the Big 12. However, you've dropped 5 of your last 9, including each of the last 2, losing to K-State in 2023 and Baylor last year. So you played much tougher teams the last couple of years, but that Baylor game last year was clearly disappointing. And then in terms of playing Kansas on homecoming, this is the 5th time that you'll have done that. You did have one loss, and that was a Mike Leach coach team that lost 34-31 in 2001. Okay, so that kind of gives you a little update on that. Somebody asked this: can the new South End get a little more crowded? Just me, but it seems like some space wasn't utilized. I've not sat in the South End, so I can't speak to what you're talking about. The suites are all full. There's coaches' offices on level 2. The South End zone loge type seating is all sold out. I don't know what you're getting to there.
Well, if you watch the game and you look down in that area, you see, I think because that's such a cool area to move around and there's a club and all that, I don't think people are always dialed in sitting in their seats.
Oh, then in that area?
Okay. And so it's not necessarily loud there because, I mean, folks are off in the club and hanging out and watching from in there and getting their food and their drinks and all that kind of stuff, which is obviously a really cool setting and really cool atmosphere, but it doesn't make for sit in your seats right there close to the end zone and be loud.
Okay, I can see what you're saying there.
Yep.
And I'm not sure all those people that sit in the south end zone in the loge section have, quote, rights to go down to the club area. They may, but then I know that club area is really, I think it gets really crowded down there. I've not been down there during a game, but just what you're talking about, people like leaning over the railing, like you see at college games or NFL games, the crazies, so to speak. You don't see that in that area because those tickets they're higher priced. So I think there's something to be. It's not maybe so much a little more crowded, but maybe a little more loud. And the band used to sit back there, previous to the south end zone being constructed. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's something to be said that. I will say this. It feels like to me, and I've said this before. It feels like to me the band is playing more or allowed to play more this year. I can't tell you by what percentage. It's just by what my ear hears. So either I'm hearing the band better, I'm paying more attention to the band better, or the band is playing more. So my perception is the band's playing more. Okay. So, and I think that's a good thing. I'm all in on that. All right. All right. Joey McGuire. He was asked yesterday, and I think this was right off the bat about the red zone offense and changes or thoughts and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, it really comes down to what I just said that I'm struggling with is the pre-snap penalties, because we are down in the end zone and we have a penalty, we have movement in the offensive line. We're going to walk in on that play. Then the next play, we run toss sweep. We have movement by the tight end. We're going to walk in on that play. And so that was more than anything what caused that. And, I think everybody watching football and around the country sometimes are really kind of interested, too, of like what a touchdown is. I really felt like that Cam Dickey scored. I don't know from all the angles that we have, TV and our videos, that he didn't score, but they have the same angles, and they said they didn't, so that's fine. We should have scored the very next play. So I think that's the biggest thing, because I rewatched the TV copy, and I know y'all do too, but I rewatched the TV copy last night, and going into that game, we were 65% in the red zone, and we kicked a lot of field goals, and so we've got to focus on that. That's something that's going to be it is every single week, but just continue to focus on it.
Yeah, he's really concerned about that, and well, he should be, the pre-snap penalties. I will say this: Mac Leftwich said, because he was asked the same question, the offensive coordinator, and he said, "There's some play calls that I would like to have back, that I would have made different in the red zone." Every
coach, every game is going to say,
I know.
I mean, they didn't pitch a perfect game, right? They're going to say they wish they had some stuff to do differently, you know.
Yeah.
But I agree 100% with Coach McGuire. I think the biggest part of it is pre-snap penalties. I think you probably scored, 2-3 more touchdowns without the pre-snap penalties that are killing you.
And the drops.
Killed you in the red zone. Killed you. Even without the drops, I think you score if you're not putting yourself in a bad spot with the penalties. The interesting part there is when you talked about Cam Dickey's scoring. Were they not able to ask for a replay?
I don't know. And
because Tech rushed to the line of scrimmage and went tempo then and scored.
Yeah. I think he's talking about the one. I think he's talking about the one that I was talking about yesterday, where Dickey gets the ball right there to the goal line, and then there's a pre-snap penalty right after that.
You're right. You're right, because it was Jacoby that reached out, wasn't it? Over on the right sideline. I think it was Jacoby, not Cam. Yeah, that was the one that I wondered why they didn't ask for a replay there. But again, you hustled to the line of scrimmage and scored.
Yeah,
after
and
that.
we'll get some comments from Mac Leftwich, because I asked him about the offense seemingly going faster, and he said that they went as fast as they have gone all season long in the ball game on Saturday, and that was by design for lots of different reasons. And we'll get his comments on that later. Here's Coach McGuire on those pre-snap penalties.
And that's why I think I got off on the tangent of the run game coordinators. Like I told him the other night, like, hey, look, we're scheming up these plays, and it's fun as coaches to scheme stuff up. That's what we do every day. That's what they're doing right now up there. But sometimes when you're in those situations, hey, let's just get lined up and come off the football. It doesn't have to have all the motion. It doesn't have to have, that your numbers, because that's what's happening. Like the toss sweep, we have all the numbers. So now you're saying, okay, Houston, you're either going to adjust to this or you're not. If you don't adjust to it, we're walking in. Same run that happened against Iowa State when Taj scored and we won that game. Something similar. Things like that coming into big packages. It's one of those deals that's tough because we haven't been good in the past in short yardage at times. And so we're scheming stuff up. But right now, some of the stuff we're scheming up, we're in our stances for a long time. And then there's some of just the anxiousness. So we've got to do a better job of in the situations, knowing the situation as coaches. Hey, let's get lined up. Let's come off the football and let's score. Or when their situation calls for, we got to scheme it up.
Yeah, and I think maybe there's some frustration of, hey, just get up there, snap the ball, and go.
Okay.
I think that maybe we might see that a little bit more. And he talked also yesterday about Josh Cochran, and he called him an elite run game coordinator, and said what he comes up with schematically is just amazing. But then, as you heard him say, he said sometimes coaches get caught up in scheming it up too much. So probably there's some frustration there. Hey, let's just get lined up and snap the damn ball, right? Hand it off. Dominate the line.
And don't jump before they snap it.
Yes, yes, preferably. But boy, it sure seems like the pre-snap penalties at every level has become almost an epidemic, and it's almost like the slightest little twitch by an offensive lineman, and you're getting called for a pre-snap penalty. It seems like it's become
how that goes.
I know, but it just seems like it's become way more sensitive than it used to be. That's what it seems like. Again, I'm probably wrong.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, guys, I'm trying to gauge where you have this game and as far as level of difficulty with the Red Raiders' remaining schedule. Okay, this game with Kansas. And it's kind of fluctuated for me because for a long time this was one that really scared me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I'm not scared and don't think it's possible that you could lose the game. I'm not going there. But I do feel like it's slipped a little bit for me, okay? So I want you to give me, I'm just going to ask for your top 5, assuming that it's in the top 5. Difficulty, with the number 1 being most difficult that's remaining on the schedule.
Okay. 5 for me is Oklahoma State. 4 is West Virginia. 3 is UCF. We've got 7 games left.
I know.
Okay, so I can't do it like that. Okay.
I was like, wow, is Oklahoma State in his top 5?
No.
That would be number 7 for me.
Yeah, right. No, right. I'm going to say UCF is 5. K-State is 4. BYU, Kansas is 3. BYU is 2, and Arizona State is 1. So I'm going to say Arizona State is 1. BYU 2. Kansas 3. And then you got from there. Okay.
You changed it. Okay. Give us your final answer.
My final answer is Arizona State is 1. BYU is 2. KU is 3, which is where I was before. And then K-State is 4 and UCF is 5.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying. I think Kansas is. I don't know if it's the 2 losses. I just think for me, and I've not seen all of their games. I've seen some of their games. To me, it's their inability to play defense, with the exception of last Saturday, just leads me to believe that you could score at will against them, and I don't think they can score at will on you because of your defense. All right, Jeff.
Arizona State 1, BYU 2, Kansas State 3, Kansas 4, and then UCF is at 5. And the reason I've got Kansas State ahead of Kansas is because of the point that Chuck just made. Kansas's defense is not good. Kansas is all about the offense. We have seen that time and 20 years it feels like here at Tech. If you've got all offense and no defense, you lose to teams that have a great defense. Texas Tech has a great defense.
Okay. I will go. I'm closer to Jeff, I think. Arizona State is number one for me. On the road at Arizona State is number one. Number two for me, I'm still picking a road game here, and I'm taking Kansas State. I don't think Kansas State is great, but it's a hard place to play. They're good enough. And will they have a day where they figure it out and play well? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just think there's enough talent there to challenge you. Number three on my list is BYU. I think BYU is good. I just have a lot of confidence in the Red Raiders playing at home. Number four on my list is Kansas at home. So I have the answer to the question, really. Number four for Kansas for me. And number five is the game at West Virginia. Again, road game, crazy people, Chuck's moonshine, all the above.
Yeah, coming down from the mountains. They might crawl down there from the hills.
Stumble down.
Stumble down. Stumble and bumble, and when you start stumbling and you start falling forward, you just can't stop, and you find yourself in the stadium.
So 3 road games, 2 home games with BYU and Kansas, the 2 home games. So number 4 on my list was Kansas. What was it for you guys?
It was 3 for me.
3?
4.
Yeah.
KU in total defense is 79th in the FBS and 9th in the Big 12. Okay.
That's a shutdown defense compared to what we were used to in the Leach era.
We're 9th and we're 2nd in total defense, 9th in the FBS. Against the run, we're 1st. They're 12th against the run. Against the pass, we're 5th in the Big 12. They're 9th in the Big 12. And I think, obviously containing Jalen Daniels is going to be a big part of this game on Saturday. But I think your corners are going to have to you're going to have to play well in the secondary. You're going to have to cover.
Yep, I agree. I agree. I thought that Houston's wide receivers would challenge the Red Raiders a little bit. I think a little bit was the right term. I mean, obviously you had a DB fall down on their 1 touchdown. That didn't help. But I thought the Red Raiders came through that with flying colors, honestly, against Houston. So I think Kansas has more depth in their wide receiving core than Houston did. I think you have a more mobile quarterback. But, I think that Daniels is probably more likely to turn the ball over than Wakeman at Houston. Mm-hmm. But I think he's more electric, too. He can make more plays.
Yeah, and I think they feel like that of the last 3 quarterbacks that you've played, that he is clearly the best of the 3.
I would not disagree.
Yeah.
I would not disagree.
Yeah, and the I think the other big kind of key is can you clean up and make sure your rush lanes are good, because I think you'll be able to put pressure on the quarterback.
I don't think you have to clean that up. I think you've been great at that. I mean, which running quarterback hurt us so far?
Okay. I mean, you make a point there. I mean, I just felt like there were some times against. I don't have the numbers here from Houston. It just felt like there were a couple times where you got a little loose.
That's fine. Yeah. A couple.
Yeah.
You can live with a couple.
Yeah. And the problem with Jalen Daniels is he is so much faster than anybody else that you've faced, is that he can get downfield like that. And his ability to run, and then his ability to throw and make throws is I mean, you look at him, you go, nah, that guy really can't throw. No, he can throw the ball. He can get the ball downfield.
Sure. No doubt.
That's a challenge there.
And you know who can tackle him? Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta, and that's where I just love our defensive line, right? You got these 2 guys on the outside that are pinching in, that are so quick off the ball, and they've got the bull rush and the spin moves and all the above, right? And then in the middle, you just got 2 just hosses, no matter which ones you're putting out there. Okay, you got 4 of them, but you got 2 guys in the middle that are clogging, and it's just It's this defensive line just makes it really difficult.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Choice Woodman, who's sitting in for Jamie, and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today on the Morning Drive. Let's see. All right, Choice, you may know the answer to this question. Somebody says this, okay, the Tech X account is trying to send us a message about what's been added to the turf. Do you know what's going on there?
I have not. No, I have no idea what we've got going on there. So they've got a. Did you see the video?
I have not seen the video.
Teaser. So there's a teaser that Tech Athletics put out last night.
Okay.
And it quote tweeted the original tweet that was the Patrick Mahomes Adidas logo unveil. Mm-hmm. Remember the one at midfield with the helicopter?
Yeah.
And people were worried that it was actually on the field, that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
So it quote tweeted that, and then it said Phase 2 and showed the logo, the end zone with a helicopter shadow flying over. So they're doing something. I don't know if it has to do with the field.
You think we're getting ready to have a flat double T there?
No, I don't actually. I've seen people trying to surmise that. I don't know. Like, that's a hard thing
for
to
Chuck
do.
and the Lucky Lady. Just them.
Boy, that'd be awesome.
Covered seating?
Just for Chuck and the Lucky Lady.
We
like there could be little pillars set up.
Oh, that'd be great.
Chuck, why don't you just go to the west side?
Because we've sat on the east side for so long. We've got great seats on the
I know
the east.
you do. I know.
I mean, we've got great seats. I mean, we've got all the leg room in the world. And, and if we need an extra seat from time to time, the rest of the seats are owned by a pretty prominent family.
Yeah.
And they I was able to squire away one of those seats for the little phenom.
That's good.
So we got both the phenoms. This will scare you as a parent, okay? This will scare you as a parent. The Phenom's parents are headed out of town later this week.
Here we go.
Out of the country.
Let's go.
And we are in charge of the Phenoms for 10 days.
Party time.
We're gonna expand bedtime. We're gonna
say that stuff before they get out of town. You can know it.
Sugar them up. We're gonna
No, sugaring them up's punishing yourself. You wait until you're giving them back to sugar them up.
Chuck doesn't think sugar affects kids.
The Lucky Lady, she's got her thumb on it.
You really don't believe sugar affects kids?
Actually, there was a study done the other day.
I saw it, and I don't believe it.
That said that sugar does not. It's in the minds of the parents.
I guarantee you, Hershey's or Mars Company or somebody else put that study together, and they funded the whole thing.
Somebody says, "Are we having the drone show this weekend?" That would be a good. That'd be a good thought.
I will reach out and ask. I have not heard whether there'll be a drone show, but it fits. I mean, that we've kind of been waiting for a night game for it.
Yeah,
and we missed our chance earlier.
I would lean towards yes on that, but don't know if they have other things planned already for.
It's also homecoming,
and
you want the lights off for the drone show,
right? But it would be. In the third quarter,
yeah, it's after the third. It's between third and fourth quarters.
Between third and fourth quarters when they were going to do that.
I thought they did it at halftime.
No. It's after the third quarter.
Yeah, that's when it was.
That'd be perfect because the boys would really like that. That'd be awesome.
The boys would really like it. That's why it would be. Not for the 60,000 plus that are there. Not for all the people that didn't get to see it at the first time because we had the weather delay.
Right, the boys would really like that.
But because the boys will be there.
Yeah, the Phenoms would really like that.
Rule number 1.
4, but yes.
1.
Okay. Chuck, if the Phenoms don't drink Coors Light and eat ribs in this window, you have disappointed the masses. Yeah. They're not allowed to drink Coors Light. I mean, they're 5 and 12.
That's probably smart.
Ribs, I think one is in, one is not. Okay. I wonder if the helicopter silhouette is a hint that maybe J-Rod's wife is going to be part of the flyover. That from Charlie.
Maybe you're
Black helicopter. That would truly be Black Helicopters because she is a Black helicopter pilot.
Black Hawk helicopter. They're not necessarily black. They're whatever color they need to be.
I mean, come on, again.
I'm with you on your.
I'm in on the theory.
You're 75%
awesome.
right, Chuck.
I'm saying that could be awesome. But they could be green because she's in the Army.
Let's see here. The Jinx Bros are going to kill this team's mojo. We haven't played anybody yet. Yes, Houston was light years ahead of Utah. I'm not sure about that.
I think that's inaccurate.
But that's not saying much. How do you think we'd fare against the top 8 in the SEC? Who cares?
Pretty well.
Yeah.
You want to be honest? Like, if you're burying your head in the sand and not watching the rest of college football, Texas Tech has played as well as anybody in the country. Miami is up there, comparable with Texas Tech, Oregon, Ohio State. And that's about the list right now when you're talking about the dominance of how they've played. How would they play against the SEC? SEC is down this year, if you want to look. Ole Miss is the head of the SEC, Ole Miss and Texas A&M. So I think, first, you're wrong on the Houston thing. Houston's a 7 or 8 win football team. Utah won't lose any less than 3 games this year. 9 wins minimum for Utah. So you have played somebody. You're just succumbed to the SEC bias that so many are. And what makes you think that just because Michigan and the Big Ten bias has a number 15 next to their name, that they're actually 15 and better than Utah is right now?
Yeah.
Because I think if Michigan and Utah played each other, Utah would win that game.
Let's see here. If Tech makes the playoffs, will you all have the same energy you all had for Indiana and SMU making it? No, because we didn't have much energy. At least I didn't for Indiana and SMU making it. I'll have a ton of energy for Texas Tech making it.
SMU feels like they somewhat backed in. They won close game after close game. They found their way in. SMU deserves the credit that they got. But Indiana played a pillow-soft schedule all year.
Pillow-soft, yeah.
And it showed once they got to the playoff. Now, this year's Indiana team's better than last year's Indiana team.
Let me ask you this: what do you make of the field goal kicking situation? What in the world is going on?
I said this yesterday. I think the morning drive makes too much of it, if I'm being honest.
Okay, well,
I just don't think it's as big.
I think it's a big deal. I think when you trot a guy out there, and it'd be like choice. You know what? Maybe tomorrow you're not going to host the Bottom Line. And then you know what? Thursday you are going to host the Bottom Line. And then Friday we take you out halfway through and replace you with somebody else. And then you're going, well, am I the host of the Bottom Line or not? Am I the head man of the morning drive or not? Am I the head field goal kicker or not? Am I the head grandmother in charge or am I not?
I get what you're saying.
I mean, it's just
I don't think it's a.
Is it a situation where one guy's kicking better in practice and the other guy's not? And then you get to a situation where you get to game day and you're going, this guy has been nailing it in practice, but he can't hit it in the game. Or this guy can hit it in the game, but he can't nail it in practice, so we got a question mark in our head.
You went through more than half the season with a competition last year, and it worked just fine.
It just seems odd, though.
Worked just fine last year. This year, the first time you've run into trouble this year is a 48-yarder and a 53-yarder. These are not short kicks.
He missed 44. It was 44 and 50. It was 44 and 53.
44, pardon me. 44 and 53.
But he hit a 58.
Sure he did. He's got the biggest leg, and I think there's no question to that. So if it's a kick that's long distance, it's going to be Harrington. I don't think there's a question to that. Okay. But I think also Belafont's been as good, and he hasn't missed on his opportunities. So no one has won or lost the job at this point.
Well, it sure looked like in Utah that the head coach or the head field goal kicker was Stone Harrington.
You had two kicks. So I think one of them was the deep one. One of them was the deep one. So I don't know. I just think it's being made a bigger deal than it is because they've worked in this system. I think both kickers know what to expect, and it's that they've got their rotation going.
Okay. Somebody says, "Wow, we are 5-0. Come on." Okay. All right. I'm making too big a deal out of it. Okay.
Maybe.
Mountain out of a molehill.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.